In its form and terms, it was intended as a program to eradicate poverty across the board. So in that sense, it was intended as an affirmative program that was not founded on race. And as Azmi had said, on that basis, if they had implemented it that way, the majority of the benefactors then and now would be Malays, being the largest number who are poor. All right? But that didn't happen. That didn't happen in its implementation. What happened? A class struggle, and people, we must see for what it is. In 1969 and in 1965 until today, it is a struggle between the haves and the have-nots. But it has been distorted, and Mahathir has gone on record in his speech in Harvard in 2002 to say, yes, there was a slight distortion. Distorted to appear as a communal Malay versus non-Malay contest. Now think back to what Fahmi was saying about what was appearing in the Malay newspapers then. Nothing's changed. Nothing's changed. If then there was an attempt to hijack the mind and the psyche of a certain segment of the population, it was continuing then. Alright? This is what is presented. Malays must continue to hold political power, to check Chinese economic dominance, whilst Indians will just exist. That's really how it's been. Alright? You pick the Malays, you constantly tell the Malays that look, they hold the economy, so you must hold political power. Alright? A racist regime sowed culture of fear in the Rakyat. 1969, 1987. Now, 1974, we became an oil-producing nation. Suddenly, wealth was plentiful. But with the Rakyat divided, corrupt politicians and their cronies pocketed the Rakyat's newfound wealth. We all remember the DNF scandal, billions. North-South Highway scandal, billions. Bank Negara, 30 billion. BKFZ, right? Barry Wynn says 100 billion. I'm told in fact it's more than that. $500 million in commissions. You know how many dialysis centers that we could build? You know how many hospitals? You know how many Rakyat have to wait to get into IJN? Right? These are institutions we built, but our Rakyat cannot get in. Why? Because money has leaked. Now, as Tunku observed, post-87, Ops Lalang, Star, all the mainstream media was suspended. They have never been the same since. They have continued to be the line-running dogs of the racist regime of the day. That's the truth. Remember the institutions that were intended to secure justice and liberty for the Rakyat? Monarch, Parliament, Judiciary, Police, Election Commission. What's become of them? 1988, Tun Saleh was sacked. Who owns the judiciary now? Lingam and his cronies. Yes, correct. It's our institution. This is the final bastion for the average citizen to go to seek justice. It's a joke. 1,805 deaths in custody since 2003 until 2008. We were promised the IPCMC in January of 2006. By whom? Alright? Why is it we don't have it now? Who objected to it? The police. So who's running the country? Are they serving us or are they helping themselves? Alright? The institutions that were intended to protect have seen 1,805 die in custody. And I'll tell you this from the statistics that we've seen, of those, only 60 whose names we know. The rest are John Does. Unknown, unknown, unknown. You know why? Mainstream media hasn't been reporting it. What was intended was one man, one vote, all equal. The Constitution, if you look at the Reid Commission report, I think it's even built into the Constitution. So if there's going to be a disparity between two constituencies, it shouldn't exceed 10 to 15% either which way. Putrajaya, 6,608 voters cast a vote to get a representative in Parliament. Kapat in Selangor, 112,000. One man, one vote is now illusory. Now this is just I'm giving you a sampling of the institutions that are failing us. Systematically failing us. Now, remember the question of responsibility. We were to take responsibility for this nation. Now confront this. Where were we when all this was happening to our institutions? And when I say we, I include myself. Where were we? I don't think it's funny. We have looked the other way. 1987, Ops Lalang, over 112 detained. Lim Kit Siang, not my uncle, I don't care. Karpal Singh, not my relative, I don't care. We only look after our own. We have evolved into a don't look, don't get involved people. Now let me ask you, how different then are we from the immigrant population that comes here to earn and send money back? They have no love for this nation. They don't. Theirs is a cari makan rice bowl mentality. Now, how different are we if we look the other way as the institutions meant to protect the rakyat are dismantled? We don't care. How different are we? If you don't love the country, why should the country love you back? If you don't love the country, maybe you deserve the categorization we will see very shortly. Yes, we are in danger of becoming a nation without a soul. You don't care. You only think of yourself. Right? Everybody wants rights. Everything that's provided in Part 2 of the Constitution, Article 5 to 13, I want, I want, I want. You don't get yours, I don't care. Bukan hal saya. Itu awak punya hal. Tsunami 8308 came. Now 50% of those who cast their ballots voted for change. 50%. Right? What was the change they wanted? They rejected race-based politics. They rejected corrupt practices in government. They rejected continued marginalization. They insisted on a transparent and trustworthy government, and they want a government accountable to the people. That was the net effect of that 15% vote. A vote for change. Now, what about the other 50%? The ones who ostensibly did not vote for change. Don't they want the change? Don't they want change? Now, what stands in the way of that 50%? What stands in their way of voting for change? Okay, if I get to that point, let me share this with you. Kota Terengganu by-election last year, January was. Some of us were there. And this is what we heard.